back with another content. After all the hype, Spider-Man doesn't even have story missions in Marvel's Avengers. Let me explain something to y'all. I hate when companies do this. You put out a DLC character, and then all of a sudden, 5 days later, you announce to the world that you don't add, or you didn't add the story modes in it. You know, at some point, I'm starting to get to a point where I can't even take these Avengers games seriously. Especially if you're gonna put a DLC character without adding a story mode dedicated to that one character. This is definitely a giant FU to everybody that spent the hard-working money on this trash game that is not even good. And yet you got Black Panther and Hulk Guy's characters being the best characters DLC in Marvel's Avengers. Now all of a sudden you put Spider-Man in the game, and look what happened. I mean, seriously, what is all of the hype? What is the point of putting a DLC in one game if you're not gonna add a story mode in it? This is called wasting people's time. Let's get to the article. It's demonstrated by Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, and Black Panther. The best part of new characters coming to Marvel's Avengers are the story missions. These introduce us to newcomers, giving us insight into their background and motivations, and provide a whole bunch of original content into an underweight game. Spider-Man, the exclusive character PlayStation owners have been waiting over a year for, arrives with no story mode. And this is the part where I say this is the biggest FU to the Spider-Man fans and the Avengers fans. You waited a full year for this opportunity to enjoy new, fresh, original content for the web slinger himself. Come to find out, they dropped a huge ball on this announcement. How original, Sony. Reviewed in IGN's exclusive hand-on preview, instead of being introduced to the game via a solo story arc, Spider-Man is just suddenly there, doing his spider thing, instead of a series of narrative missions. Peter Parker's story unfolds through a series of audio logs, along with some illustrated cutscenes, unlike as playable, completed character-specific challenges, literally added to exciting Avengers multiplayer missions. That don't even count, because you basically just put them in. You just basically put them in there for nothing. If you're gonna, introduce a brand new DLC character for this game, and this is one of the biggest errors in video game history. You put out a character that has no freaking backstory whatsoever, then you're basically are pissing off fans that pay all that money to buy a character for an exclusive console. So therefore, I don't know who made this game, but this was really embarrassing to Spider-Man fans all over the world. Because I can tell Spider-Man Twitter, Instagram accounts are going to be going crazy over it, and I can't blame them, because what this company did, they took the biggest L big time. Then they're gonna probably blame the fans for not being appreciative. After all the hype, if you bring in a DLC character into the game, we do have that right to be upset. According to gameplay director Philip Theron, speaking to IGN, Crystal Dynamics decided against creating Spidey story missions in order to focus on a new raid event that releases across all platforms alongside Spider-Man on November 30th. We want to spend our efforts on content that everyone can enjoy, so we choose to spend a lot of our energy on a claw raid that's coming up at the same time. If that was the case, why didn't you spend all of that time just like you did with Black Panther backstory, give him extra missions to go through, and give him a motivation to why he's going through all this? You could have easily gave Spider-Man a better development in Marvel's Avengers game, but you chose to be this lazy. extra amount of time to do Spider-Man the same way y'all did with Black Panther. Give him extra story modes, development, and motivation instead of giving us a stupid comic book panel and the audio voiceovers. Like, that is not how you hype up a Spider-Man character. Like, y'all really messed up big time over this. Like, are you kidding me? And here's the thing. I originally wanted to buy this game one time, but after finding out how terrible this game is, how boring it is, how lackluster it is, and according to this article, I have reasons not to buy it. It makes some degrees of sense. No, it doesn't. Why I spend a lot of time on free content that, because of nonsense dealing with Spidey owners, Sony, Xbox, and PC players won't be able to play. As someone who chose the PlayStation version of the game specifically for Spider-Man, of course, action, however, it's a pretty major letdown. Come on. Crystal Dynamics. Oh, Crystal Dynamics were the one that made the game. Okay. We waited over a year for this. Yeah, I bet you did. And you got your hopes up just a little bit high. And look what happened. All of that was a giant letdown. Spider-Man and the Discordant Sound Raid arrives in Marvel's Avengers next week with no new characters announced beyond Spidey and the game's ongoing struggles keeping players engaged. This could be the end of the line for... Yeah, just like that. And you know what? It should be the end. You want to know why? Because they failed to be creative. They failed to give the fans what they want. Crystal Dynamics had all that time to get Spider-Man ready in the right way. But what we've got in the trailer, him looking all heavy, like a movesets when it comes to the swinging. The animation looks fine in the trailer, but gameplay-wise, he looks like he just got ported, from a different console onto the PS4 and 5 game. Like, how terrible and original can you be? I mean, unoriginal can you be? Just the lack of respect for the fans and for the character to be added into the game. Just embarrassing. It really is. It's a letdown. Everybody was expecting a giant reveal and a giant moment for Peter Parker to have his shine in Marvel's Avengers. What we ended up getting in the trailer was a waste of time, waste of space, a company on crack, on drugs, people that went really on lazy mode without even putting enough effort into one character. And finally, the lack of respect for Peter Parker. The gameplay sucked, and everything, basically the guy from IGN just revealed to everybody that Sony really wanted to do things their way to have this brother in Marvel's Avengers look a hot mess. And his body and his animation just looks so weird. And the way he's swinging, it's like, come on. Y'all gotta do better. So y'all enjoy my rants and my thoughts on this article, and if you want it, I will have it in the description below towards the end of the video. Y'all enjoy this video, please let me know in the comments down below. And I'll see you in my next content.